Hi everyone, I have some Valentines to share with you that I have finished. I'm just going to share the items that I used first for making these. So the first main thing that I started off with was the stitched fishtail frames from MFT Dynamics. These were the ones that I used in my video with my scraps. So I took those out to make these cards, and these are the stamps that I used. So this is Hedgehog Kisses and Perfect Panda, both from the Sweet Stamp Shop. I had purchased these sometime last year and had not used them yet. So technically this is a use it or lose it because I have not used them yet. This is the first time. And then for the sentiment, I used this Simon in Love from Simon Says stamp. I just used the Hey Valentine and Wanna Cuddle from there. And I used, for that on the inside, I used some of my Stampin' Up! Ink. I also did use some of the Lawn Fawn stitch dies for the backgrounds on my cards. So I'm going to show you the little ones first. This was the first one that I finished. And this was also with one of my die cuts from my scraps. So this was a mini scallop stitch square that I had die cut out of my gold polka dot scraps. And then there's the fishtail banner with the piece on the inside, and I did pop up the outside of the banner. And there is the little words, the big hugs that I did with the foam. So you can see that unless you're looking at it way up close, you don't actually see the orange. And then these little heart stickers are actually just ones that I have left over from the dollar store from years ago. So there's my little pandas. I used the little hat and the bows from the Hedgehog Kisses and just colored them and cut them out, put them over top. And this banner is from a, oh, can't even remember. If I remember, I will put it in the comments. I think it's Lifestyle Crafts. Yeah, that one's from Lifestyle Crafts. And then on the inside of this one, I used the sentiments from the Panda set. Just you're loved every day, period. And then this one, these are the ones I used the stitch square from Lawn Fawn to go on the card front. I just put it on the front of my card. And then pretty much the same thing, except these guys, because I didn't do the hats and the bows, I put on the pink twine on these little ones. So there is two like this. This one has a red big hugs, and that one has the pink big hugs. And then on the inside of these, I just put Wanna Cuddle. And then there's this one here with the hats, and then Wanna Cuddle. I like how the stitch square fits perfectly. These are 3.5 by 3.5 cards that I made. I just cut the cards out myself. And then for the bigger ones, these ones are super cute. These are regular 4 1/4 by 5.5 cards, and it's the large rectangle stitched from Lawn Fawn. That's the biggest one from the large set. Fits the card front perfectly. I love that. And that's the big fishtail banner. Again, with the inside, I added on some twine. Little hedgehogs do have the hats and their bows, but it's a bigger space on the card. So, and then this is, oh, where is it? Paper Smooches. Those are the banner die cuts from Paper Smooches with the big hugs on there and the little heart, or bigger heart sticker on those ones. And then on this one, I used the Hey Valentine Wanna Cuddle on the inside. And then here's the other one. So super cute. I love how they turned out. They're so adorable. And again on the inside, Hey Valentine Wanna Cuddle. Alright, so that is it. I do have coloring process for the hedgehogs and a little bit on the pandas, and also a bit on inks if you're interested in different kinds of ink. I just received my Simon Says Stamp Intense Black Premium Dye ink. I love it. I have a little complaint about Memento in my video, but I show you the difference on the pandas with the two inks. So take a look and leave a comment, subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye. Hi everyone, Sarah here. I just pulled out some of my stamps and stamped them out so I can make some Valentine's cards, but I just want to share with you before I get started on the actual coloring. I pulled out these two sweet stamp. One is Perfect Panda and the other's a Hedgehog Kisses. And then I also have the Simon Says stamp Monster Hugs that I have stamped out. So I am using Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I'm going to be coloring with Copic markers, but I just wanted to share one of my pet peeves. And I'm hoping to have a solution for this. I don't know if you can really see it in there. I'm sure most of you noticed that the Memento Tuxedo Black ink, the pad is linty. Like there's little pieces of thread, fluff, whatever you want to call it, and it's from the pad. It's not from anything else. And I don't know, so you can see it on this little guy. There's a little piece there. The pandas were a lot harder because the fluff would really stick to these stamps. So I have little, I don't know, blotches all over them. It's really, really frustrating. So I did see Simon Says Stamp has released a new intense black ink, and it has been tested and works with all mediums. So you don't have to worry about if you're going to do watercolor, if you're going to do Copics, what you're going to do, mixed media, stuff like that. So I have ordered it and I'm hoping it'll show up soon because I want to be able to stamp my stamps without little fuzzies. I don't know if you can see on this one, on the envelope, which is okay because it's going to get cut off anyways, but like there's like little spots around their eyes where they shouldn't be, and then half the time too it's stuck there, so when I rub it with my hand to make sure that it's not affecting the image, then I get little smudge marks all over my hands and all over the stamps, my images. So very frustrating. That's my rant. Alright, I am going to get to coloring. Okay, so I just wanted to add in here, I just received my new Simon Says Stamp Intense Black Premium Dye Ink. Says right on it, for great use with solvent and alcohol-based markers, pigment-based, acid-free, archival, and non-fading. Works on all surfaces, and then also fast-drying and waterproof. Love it! So I took out the pandas from the Sweet Stamp Shop Perfect Panda stamp set, and I just wanted to show you because these are the original. These guys down here, they are the original ones that I stamped in Memento Black ink, and you can tell they're kind of gray compared to the new guys. And I did stamp another one. I noticed his belly. That was actually some sticky that was stuck to my stamp. So I cleaned that off, and there's another one there. I did it a second time. Beautiful. Dark black, crisp, no little wispies. Love it. Alright, just wanted to share that. Okay, so it's just some quick coloring here. I have E53 and E33, and I'm just doing the body portion of the hedgehogs. I know these two colors are pretty far apart on the chart, but I still like the way that they look together. So I basically just do a little bit of blending, and then I do a tip-to-tip marker just to add in the mid-tone. And it's just to get a little bit of a different color. I don't have a lot of color markers, so sometimes for the lighter browns I just need to improvise. So I'm just going to do all four of the little hedgehogs the same. I didn't do any cheeks on these guys. I didn't want it to make it too, I want to say too girly, but these cards are really girly. I just thought it was better to leave them with the brown tones because there's lots of pinks in the card. The pandas didn't have a lot of color on them, so that's why I gave them cheeks. I just went over their feet with the E33 just to darken them up a little bit. So then for the actual fur or the spikes part of it, I used E57, E59, and E49. And these ones I kind of was mimicking hair when I was doing it. I think my E57 is getting kind of dry. It's one that I don't have a re-anchor, so I'm going to have to pick that up. So you'll see that I kind of went with one side, either side with the dark edges, and then followed the image in the middle that it's supposed to have some spikes in there. Just flicking motion, which makes my camera shake. Sorry about that, guys. So then the same thing for each of the 4 hedgehogs. I always start with my lightest color and then do my medium and my dark, and then go back to medium and light to blend it all through. You always want to move your paper around so you have the right angle when you're doing flicking, definitely. It's a little bit hard when you're trying to film it too, but it works. And I was trying so carefully to stay in the lines too, even though I was fussy cutting them out. So alright, so the next part is coloring up their little hats and the little bows. I used a R17, R29, and R39. You always have to be careful of reds because they tend to bleed a lot easier, so I go very lightly on these colors. Use the same colors for their little bows. And then for the black part of the hats, I used T5, T8, and T10. It would have been a little bit better if I had used T6, but that one is, the hole marker is dried up, so I need to get a replacement for that. So then lastly is coloring in the pandas, and for this it was very, very simple. I just wanted to give the girls some rosy cheeks and then just a little bit of gray shading on the actual pandas. So for the cheeks I used the R20 and the colorless blender and basically just added it on and then kind of blended it out to make it a little bit lighter. I did it a couple times because I realized I used my colorless blender that's not really full. I have two of them. So for the shading, I used N1 and the colorless blender and just a little bit on the back of their heads, and then I decided after to put it on the back of the bottom of their bodies also. And that's just to make it look a little bit more dimensional, but without coloring them in because I wanted them to stay white. And then that is it for the coloring. Again, thanks guys for watching and commenting and subscribing. Have a great night.